live transfers. All right, in this video, I'm going to go over what live transfers are, how to sell them, where you can look to get them, where they're provided, and also I have a live transfer sales call included in this video at the end where you can listen to a full live transfer call. I don't have any of the client's personal information or anything like that in the video, of course, but you will be listening in to a live transfer call at the end of this. It's a sales call I made a few weeks ago, took a live transfer, closed the deal. So live transfer, they're great for telesales. What a live transfer is, it's an inbound transfer from a call center representative who has someone on the line who's interested in life insurance. So there are call centers all around the world, and they call out to people who express interest in life insurance in one way, shape, or form. They get that person on the line, they bring them through a basic qualification call. So they may say, hey, there's new burial programs available in your area that can cover all your final expenses for less than $1 a day or whatever if you're eligible for it. We have a representative standing by to get you some information on those programs. I'd just like to verify a few things with you. They usually verify their name, date of birth, sometimes what there's how much insurance they're looking for, if they smoke. Usually the price of transfers changes based on how many verification questions they ask. So the way it works is you're just at your phone or at your computer or wherever your phone line is connected. You see the call coming in and you answer. Hi, this is Justin with Senior Life Services. How can I help you? It's a live transfer, and they say, hey, good afternoon, Justin. I have John on the line here. He's looking for a quote on some life insurance or on a burial program. Please take him from here. He's 65 years old, and he's calling from the great state of Missouri, okay? So when that call comes in, they didn't, qualify the person to a crazy extent, okay? So the call center representative doesn't qualify them to some crazy extent. They just get someone on the line who had expressed interest in insurance at some point, and then it's your job as the agent to bring him through to qualify him a little more. Now, what live transfers have is a buffer. So usually they give you 90 to 120 seconds to qualify the client before you get charged for it. What I mean is the transfer comes in, you answer the call, this is Justin with Senior Life Services, how can I help you today? And they give you that whole spiel on who was on the phone, their age, and maybe some other information. And then you have 90 to 120 seconds to qualify that client before you get charged for that lead. Okay, so they do give you a time. That way they don't just transfer someone over who's like, oh, I thought this was car insurance or whatever. All right, so that's what a live transfer is. So you're at your phone, you're at your computer, wherever. We have phone lines built into our computer here at Senior Life Services. So we have a CRM and we have everything. It just rings on the computer. You got your headset on, you take the call. That's how it works. If you're at home, it may be different. You may have people call your cell phone. Maybe you have a phone line connected to your computer or whatever. But the call comes in, you take it, and you have 90 to 120 seconds to qualify that client before you get actually charged and billed for that lead, okay? So that's what a live transfer is. It's really good because you get someone on the line who you can qualify pretty quickly. Say, hey, is this person worth presenting to? All right? So there are a couple principles that you want to follow with this. Obviously, one, you want to qualify the person within whatever the buffer time period is for you to qualify that person, right? Here we do most of our stuff in-house, so it's a little bit different. We're not really worried about the buffer time or anything like that, but the same principles apply. Like obviously we don't want to stay on the phone with someone who's not going to buy right now, who's not a buyer at this moment, okay? So you want to greet the lead and how's it going over there in Missouri? Great. What is it getting cold? How's the holidays? Or it's around Christmas time right now, so whatever. Just 10 seconds of small talk. And then what I like to say is this. I like to say, hey, the reason why you were transferred over to me is because at some point in time, I believe that life insurance or burial insurance may have been on your to-do list. Does that ring a bell? So I say it like that because it's not like, oh, you want life insurance. Do you want life insurance or no? Because it's like people get scared. They don't know you. They got someone on the line who usually sounds foreign, and then they're transferred to you, and then the person's like, well, I don't know. I don't even know who you are. I don't know you enough to tell you if I want insurance or not. So all I'm trying to do here is verify that the client at some point in time, the prospect, was in the market for insurance. Okay, you can say it a couple different ways on the sales call that I attached. I believe I say it a little differently. But that's the gist of it. Like, hey, the reason you're being transferred to me is at some point in time, you had life insurance on your to-do list, I believe. Does that ring a bell? Or at some point in time, you were looking for information on burial programs or final expense life insurance. Does that ring a bell? Does that, you recall that? And if they're like, no, I don't want any insurance at all, hang up, boom, before you get charged. Whatever. You know, you're not trying to turn water into gold here. But you do want to get that little bit of a hint that, yes, this is something important to me before you proceed and have to pay for the lead. Okay? So where do you get live transfers from? There's a bunch of different lead vendors. You can go on Facebook groups. You can always reach out to me. I know a bunch of different vendors that are out there. I'm not going to say any names on the video because I don't know. Sometimes reputations go up and down, and also people go in and out of business. So who knows? I don't want to date the video. But hey, you can always reach out to me and I'll give you my 2 cents. And you want to listen to some sample live transfers too. So if someone says they have live transfers, be like, hey, send me a list of some samples so I can listen to the transfers to see how they're qualified and how they sound. Okay? So one, you can buy them from lead vendors. Your IMO may be able to hook you up with a vendor as well. Usually there's some connection. Obviously, they're a marketing organization, so they should be able to hook you up with where to get live transfers. And then also separate vendors, but or maybe your IMO exclusively works with that. There are some companies out there that provide those at no cost to their agents. We provide those at no cost to our agents. Live transfers, they don't have to pay anything for them. So it's part of the deal here with its built-in commission structure and everything else. So that's how you handle the live transfer. You want to take it, you want to cushion it, right? It's like in football, if someone throws a pass, you grab it and you cradle the ball, right? You cushion the ball. So answer it, be nice, have like 10 seconds of small talk, and then qualify and verify that, hey, at some point in time you had expressed some interest in life insurance or burial programs were on your to-do list. Does that ring a bell? That's a great way to do it. You're going to hear me go through my presentation as well, and you're going to hear the things I say. Okay, you want to utilize that buffer time to make sure that the person on the line, like I said, is interested, but you want to handle it just like any other presentation that you'd have. In some of my other videos, I have a script, and I follow that script pretty much all through this. We're verifying that the person's a decision maker. You can do this in the buffer time too. Are they the decision maker? After you say, hey, is life insurance on your to-do list, or has it been, or you recall expressing interest in this stuff? Yes? Great. You capable of making insurance decisions by yourself? Right? And if something happened to you, who would be the people that would be picking up the pieces and taking care of this? So you want to make sure they can make decisions, and you want to make sure they get a need. So you want to make sure that there's a pain point there. You want to make sure you got the person on the phone who can make a decision. Now, you're not going to sell every single transfer that comes through, but you want to do your best to qualify for them to make sure you're spending money on someone that's qualified, right? And you also want to make sure that if you don't sell, for whatever reason, that you follow up with that person consistently, obviously, because you never know when they got in touch with them. The person could be out doing something or whatever. So that's another good question too you can ask. Okay, do you have do you have 10, 15 minutes to give me your full undivided attention? And hey, if they say no, then cool, you can move on, and that way you don't get charged. So you want to utilize that time. So in this call, you're gonna notice some things as I go through the call, and if you have any questions or comments, drop it in the box. I may jump in and say here and there like why I said certain things, but that's all there to help you understand why I said certain things in that call and in that presentation. I hope you enjoy this. I hope this really, really helps you learn how to sell and how to handle live transfers. Hey, good evening. This is Justin with Senior Life Services. How can I help you?
Hi, sir. I have here Patrick. He is 59 years old, living in the state of Illinois. Can you please help him out? Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. How's it going, Patrick?
Pretty good.
Awesome, man. So you're in Illinois. Are you near Chicago?
No, I'm actually in central Illinois.
Central. Well, I know.
Yeah, down around Bloomington and Peoria.
Okay. I've heard those names. I don't know where they are though. I'm a hop, skip, and a jump away from you, but fortunately with the telephone we can talk.
Yeah. It's right in the exact center of the state, like halfway down and halfway across.
All right. Was it like farm town?
Yeah. Used to be more. It's where ISU is. So
okay.
I guess technically more of a college town, but it's surrounded by farms.
Oh yeah, it's like Gainesville down in Florida where I am.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like at Florida State University, and then there's just like cattle farms all around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you live there, you're either farming cows or going to school, one or the other.
Yeah.
Cool, man. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I'm 59.
59, okay. So you probably, like everybody else, been getting called for health insurance, right?
Well, like I get a lot of life insurance.
Okay.
Like junk mail and calls.
Yeah, well, I hope this isn't a junk call for you, but she was calling about life insurance. I have a license for life and health insurance. I don't do anything with health insurance, so I just get people information on life insurance. I know life insurance usually it's not a need to have, it's a should want to have. So really what I like to do is get people the information they need, and if they decide that something works for them, great. If they decide that later on would be a better time for them to do it, then that's great. But really I like to be a resource of information for people. And that's really what the point of this is today. Does that sound fair enough to you?
Yeah.
All right. So
what I did right there is I basically qualified and I explained, hey, I have my life insurance license. Obviously, I sell life insurance. My job is to get people information on life insurance. So when I tell him that, and he's still like, cool. Yeah. I told him I'm going to get him some information on life insurance, and he didn't hang up. I didn't say, do you want to buy life insurance right now? Right? He's still on the phone with me after I told him I'm going to get him information on life insurance. He's 59 years old. His time is valuable. If he had absolutely no inkling ever at all for life insurance, he wouldn't have he wouldn't stay on the phone. And also, he said, I get calls like this all the time. Why did he stay on the phone with me? Because I told him I was going to get him information. I wasn't like, you want to buy life insurance right now? Right? It's like, hey, I'm going to get to know this guy a little bit, build some rapport, build a little bit of a relationship, because a contact needs the R relationship to become a contract.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, man. What had you at some point in the past looking for information on life insurance? Was it for you or someone else? Or?
No, I guess it would be for me because I am by myself, and if I were to die, I don't know who would take care of things.
Yeah. Who do you who do you talk to the most?
The most probably now is probably my ex-wife.
Okay. What's her name?
Her name's Lynn.
Lynn. Okay. Do you have children?
Yeah, actually I do. I have two college-age kids.
Okay. Would Lynn be? Do you think Lynn would want to take the charge on this, or your children would? You can always change, but if something happened like tomorrow, would Lynn be doing it, or would your kids?
Oh, probably Lynn. Maybe one of my siblings might possibly, but she lives here in the same town I do, and if I died, tonight, I imagine they would probably get hold of one of my kids, but it would probably fall to her to kind of take care of things. But.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now that's all something that you can decide at some point and make concrete, and then you can always change it too. That's flexible. In the initial process, you can say, hey, while I'm figuring this out and it's malleable, so while this is in a changing world, Lynn could say, hey, if something happened, Lynn, then at least you know that there's something there, and then your family would know that that's there too. What do you do for?
Okay, so right here I verify the beneficiary, who the beneficiary is. Why do you do that? You have to establish a need. Okay, there has to be someone. He clearly cares about his ex-wife and his children. right? So when he dies, he doesn't want them to experience that pain point. That's why you got to verify the beneficiary pretty early on, figure out their name. That's very important because that name is going to bring up a bigger emotion in him than just saying your ex-wife. Ex-wife kind of got like a negative connotation, right? Lynn is not a negative connotation as much. Probably not to him because he likes it. I'm not saying it's a bad name. Saying, right, usually sometimes people think of the ex's names and they're like, oh. But he clearly has a good relationship with her and a good relationship with his kids. I assumed right there that he could make decisions for himself. So that's a big one, too. You got to know that they can make decisions for themselves. Why can he make decisions for himself? Well, he just sounds put together. He sounds intelligent. He doesn't sound like someone would second guess his ideas and opinions. He's stable-minded. And also, his kids have flown the coop. They're older, he said, and his ex-wife is the one who'd be the beneficiary. So no guy's going to run to their ex-wife to ask him if they can get permission to do something, right? So I just assumed right there that he could make the decision for himself. I knew there was a pain point, so I kept going.
Work.
I'm disabled. I don't work.
Oh, I got you, man. That's I'm sorry that you're disabled. What's if you don't mind me asking, what are you disabled from?
Oh, I had a stroke 12 years ago.
Gotcha.
And
What's up?
It crippled my left side.
Oh, geez, man. You know, my friend. I'm sorry you went through that. And my friend, he actually just had a traumatic brain injury about 7-8 months ago, and his left side. It was someone broke into his house in the middle of the night. Didn't know who it was. He found him. They shot him in the back of the head. And
oh my God! Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, he's alive though. He's alive. Get that right?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
And his left side is slowly coming back to him, but it's
mine never will. So I'm crippled for life.
Yeah, well, you know what he said like the hardest thing. I don't know if you can relate to this at all. He said, you know, the hardest thing at first is just adapting because he's like, you know, try putting both your socks on with your right hand. It's hard, you know.
Right. Yeah. I know how that goes. I do everything one-handed.
Yep. But he's like, you know, I'm just grateful that because it could have been, you know, a lot worse for sure. So I'm sure.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, man. So how do you get around? Are you able to drive and stuff, or how does that work?
For the most part, everything's local to where I live, so I walk to where I usually go. And if it's too far for me to walk, then I get a ride.
Okay.
All right. I don't drive.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. At least it's good you get some exercise though.
Right here, what I did is, and acknowledgments are huge, guys. So you notice the way I acknowledged him, right? He said he had some paralysis in his extremities. Immediately from him saying that, I'm starting to look in the back of my head at what carriers he qualified for with that. Okay, but I don't tell him that. The last thing you want to do when someone says that they had a catastrophic health issue is say, oh, hey, you know, you qualify for this program, right? This is a real person. This is a really, really cool guy. And you got to relate to him. You're not going to get a sale if you don't relate to someone on a human level. So you acknowledge it. You be a person first, right? You be a human first. You be nice first. And you're thinking, what's the best thing for this client? Like, what's the best program I can offer this client? But it's important when someone says that they had an accident or they had a health scare, first acknowledge it, show some empathy, show some interest in a situation. And then if you can think of anything that can relate to it, then relate to it. You know, I had a very, very personal situation, so his story was pretty touching to me because I have a friend going through this very, very, very similar situation right now. So it was really good for us to be able to connect on that level. Those are the connections that are going to earn you clients and good relationships, right? It's not just about the sale, it's about building that relationship with the client. And understanding, hey, this is a person, this is a living, breathing person on the other end of the line here, and I care about them, and I want them to be okay. So acknowledge someone, relate, share a story if you have something to share, and just be a good person when someone's talking about that stuff. All right, and try to put it in the best light you can if someone's had a bad accident or is in a tough spot.
You know, I'm sure you probably don't have diabetes, right?
Well, I have type 2.
Type 2, okay.
But yeah, it's really well under control, and I just take pills for it,
Yeah.
and it takes
Good for
care
you.
of it.
That's huge, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people I talk to, that just goes out of control. So good for you.
Yeah, my ex-wife actually has diabetes, and I don't know if hers is technically type 2 or 1, but she does take insulin, so I assume it's classified as type 1. But
Yeah, type 1's like when you're a kid, if you're born with like a defective pancreas.
Yeah, that's my son was diagnosed with diabetes when he was like real young. He was like under 10 when he was diagnosed.
Yeah, that's like true diabetic. He has an insulin pump.
He did, but it broke down, and he couldn't afford to get another one, so he does without it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean they got those long-lasting ones and stuff.
Yeah, he had a pretty good setup with a pump for many years, and then it finally gave out, and it cost too much to repair it or get another one, so he just takes the shots now.
It's crazy, man. Hopefully with healthcare, there can be some sort of reform on insulin, insulin costs, and it's just insane. Like, it's crazy. Medicare, right? Get this, Patrick. You go by Pat or Patrick?
Either one, I don't care.
All right. I was reading an article the other day, and Medicare is actually going up. One of the premiums is going up $22. So that's a big hike from $148 to $170, right? Like that's a significant jump. And it's because the $10 of it is from this new Alzheimer's medication that costs $56,000 a year.
Oh my God.
It's crazy, right? It's like how is that like? Well, why? It's like, dude, this is just me. If I had Alzheimer's, I would be like, dude, just let me go. Like just don't give me any. Like, why are you gonna keep me around in this? Like, I don't even know where I am. You're just trapping me in this flesh machine.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know, but just treatment, no, not a cure. Right. Real quick, just so I can best serve you here. I'm sure you're capable of making insurance decisions yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. And do you have any life insurance right now?
No.
Okay. So this would be the first thing. Now, would this cover a funeral or a cremation or something else? I don't know. They have like the whole, turn me into a tree thing nowadays. So I don't know if you've given any thought to that.
Yeah. No, none of it. No, I think the only unusual thing I've ever thought of was being shot into space, but I know that's probably it's like $500,000 to have that done. So.
Well, Patrick, imagine you did that, right? And then you end up like, obviously there's no oxygen, so you'd be preserved. So you end up like, 500 light years away in some civilization, and they find you, and you become like a deity on like a far off planet. Oh, hail Patrick!
There you go.
Cool.
I thought of like with the ashes, like where they take your ashes and shoot it up in a satellite rocket and then jettison your ashes out in space.
Oh wow, I've never even heard of that. That's a new one.
I thought that would be interesting, but it's got to be just phenomenally expensive.
Oh yeah, I bet. I mean, honestly though, in 20 years it probably won't even be that much.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say if SpaceX keeps going and makes rocketry more affordable, it'll become a business at some point.
Yeah, and eco-friendly, so they don't have to burn 100,000 gallons of fuel to get up there. Okay, and with all intents and purposes, if something happened to you tomorrow, do you think it would be a funeral or a cremation? Well, probably cremation, since you thought about the ashes thing.
Well, I wouldn't really care. Probably whichever was cheaper, because I used to always say if they just bury me in the backyard, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we are as guys, though. But I don't think I don't think your kids and I don't think they would. My dad says the same thing. He's like, I don't care. He's like, feed me to the coyotes out back. I'm like, Dad, come on. I don't. He's like, hey,
take his body out and
yeah. He's like, keep them alive. They, in the winters are tough, man. Okay, well, yeah, I mean that'll be for whoever to decide. I mean, you can say however you want, but at the end of the day, it's up to them. So you do you get any home health care?
No.
Okay. And aside from the stroke 12 years ago, any heart, liver, kidney, or lung issues?
No.
Okay. Any cancer, heart attacks, or COPD?
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm actually relatively healthy. I'm not perfect, perfect health, but I'm basically healthy and don't have issues with anything but mobility.
Okay. No tobacco?
No.
Okay. So just mobility. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, not
smoke,
just mobility, but you know what I mean.
No recreational drugs, nothing like that. So.
Okay. Cool. And so you take metformin, I'm assuming?
That's one, yeah. My main medicine is called glipizide.
Glipizide, yeah. Do you have diabetic neuropathy?
No.
Okay, so you don't get tingly hands and feet?
No. Well, my left foot, I do just a tiny bit because my stroke. I don't have any feeling in my left side.
Yeah, but that's from your stroke. It's not from diabetes and neuropathy, right?
Right. Yeah. It's just a tingling in the nerves from the stroke.
Has your doctor ever said that's diabetes related at all?
Oh no.
Okay. So in your right side, you have full feeling. You don't get like burning or pins and needles in your hands or feet or anything?
Right. Yeah. I'm perfectly normal on the right hand side of my body and like dead on the left side.
Yeah. All right. I hate to laugh at it, but you made a joke out of it. So you don't take gabapentin for diet. You do you take like gabapentin or Lyrica for your left side?
No.
It's a nerve pain medication. Neurontin.
No. Yeah, because it's not anything that's what do you call that when it's something you suffer from all the time?
Chronic.
Chronic. Yeah. I have no.
Okay.
Like chronic pain or sensations or anything. So.
Gotcha. Patrick.
So what I did here, I established his health information. I'm going to go on in a minute here to ask his height and weight. Established some health information, figured out what he qualified for, mixed some conversation in between to just build a little bit of a relationship there. I just verified he was the decision maker. I had a really good feeling he was. And I was trying to figure out what he wanted when he passed. It wasn't really a big deal to him. Now, people are like, I don't care, from the standpoint of I don't care about my loved ones. That's different than saying, hey, just whatever's cheapest for them. And he was still reiterating right here that he wanted that it's something important to him and it was a need to solve. And you could hear him becoming more comfortable with me throughout the development of this conversation, this presentation, that he was more inclined to speak with me and want to do business with me.
The city you said is?
Correct.
Okay. I don't know how I remember that, but I did. Okay. I just have to. All right. How tall are you?
I am.
Oh, geez, you're a tall guy, man. And how much do you weigh?
Yeah, I'm hovering around there.
Okay, cool. So based on that, it looks like you would actually qualify for a top-tier program with this company named. They are the best company in the final expense industry. They have the fastest payouts. They have the best billing system. And above and beyond that, what I really like is their customer service. It's very easy to work with them and to get someone on the phone. And we help with that as well. Okay, if you've dealt with an insurance company before, you know how that's a pretty valuable thing.
Yeah.
Also, this program is a whole life policy is what I'd recommend. You know what whole life is?
I've heard the phrase before.
Yep. No problem. Well, I'm
Like
the insurance agent.
like,
I'll teach you about it.
yeah.
It just means it's permanent, so you'll never have to qualify again. Some term policies just last like a few years and then it goes away. This is permanent. You never have to worry about doing it again. The payment can never change, and the benefit stays the same. Okay.
Oh.
So
yeah.
So some policies that you get in the mail, they'll fall off at age 80 or 85, and then you put up the money into it and you don't get anything back.
Yeah.
So once you do this, you cross it off the list. That's it. You don't have to worry about it again. So it's pretty good relief to know that that's handled, and a whole life policy takes care of that. Also, this has a terminal illness benefit on it, which is a pretty exclusive feature. What it does, Patrick, is if you are ever terminally ill, then you could get this money advanced to you ahead of time. So you would be, it's huge. I wish that I had something like this with my mother because she had terminal cancer. It would have been a huge help. So I mean, it's that cushion ahead of time. It can really help too if someone has to take extra time off from work to help you or anything like that. So it is good to, for sure. And there's cash value. So a whole life policy has cash value. You ever hear cash value before?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a little.
Where people where they cash in their insurance policy.
Correct.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so this has that feature. Obviously, if you get it, the goal wouldn't be for you to cash out in 5 years, but it's
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just good to know that, hey, at least some of my premiums can be returned to me if I decide at some point that I need it. Or, hey, if say it's hot in the summer and your AC goes out and you're like, oh, geez, I got to go get an AC, you can always borrow some cash from the policy and then pay it back over time. So you can kind of be your own bank in a way a little bit too.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see.
Yep. Yeah. And this company, like I said, they pay out within 48 hours after your passing. And our agency, by the way, is a full-service agency. We're 43 years old. So, like I said, I kind of do the looking around for you. And then we handle anything that you need on your policy. So we try to provide that higher level of service. We have a full back office staff to help you and then your family along in the claims process as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can grab a pen and a piece of paper for me, if that's available to you, I can just go over some of these rates here with you.
Let's see. Hang on a second.
All right, you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this a cell phone I'm talking to you on?
Yeah.
All right. Your number here I have is, all right, I'm just texting you, Justin, life insurance. I just texted you my name there. But you can write down my number if you want. My cell phone is 774 606
606
6847.
6847. Okay.
Real quick, were you lefty or righty before your accident?
I would say I'm severely right-handed.
Okay. No, because my buddy, he was.
Yeah, now I'm really severely right-handed.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just asked my buddy he was lefty, and then that happened, so now he's like converting.
Oh, yeah, I knew a guy in a nursing home that was that way. His stroke happened just the opposite way and took out his right side. So his control on the wheelchair is on the left side, and he eats with his left hand and can't use his right hand.
So he's trying to figure it all. He was trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you a range of rates here. I'm gonna start at $15,000 in a benefit. It goes down real low, but I think that'll give your family a lot of options when the time comes, and some also take into account inflation. We know how that's going right now.
Yeah.
So write down 15,000, 20,000, and 25,000.
Yeah.
And then the max is 50,000. So I'll just give you the maximum too.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably be thinking of like the 20 or 25,000 range.
Okay. All right. So I'll give you the rates here. So the 15,000 is $75 a month.
Mm-hmm.
The 20,000 is $99 a month.
Mm-hmm.
The 25,000 is $122.
Okay.
And the 50,000 would be $240.
Yeah. 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 I would definitely have to stick with one of the lower ones, but yeah.
All right. Which of those do you think would be best to start with?
Yeah. Well, now, I mean, probably before you spend too much more time on me, I should probably say I won't be able to like commit to anything like today.
Okay.
I get paid at the beginning of each month, so I wouldn't be able to even start anything until next month.
No, that's okay. I just want to figure. I wasn't even asking you for money today. I was just saying like, hey, which,
okay.
and then 10,000, just so you know, is $52 a month. Right. I know disability doesn't pay $1 million a year. Right.
Well, kind of depends on what you're being paid for. My particular one isn't one of the higher paying ones, because I think because I've known some people that were on mental disability that made quite a bit more than I do, but yeah, I mean I could well.
You know, my buddy, he called me the other day. He said that his long-term disability is going to pay him $2,800 a month till he's 65. Like, wow.
Yeah, that would be. That'd be that's 3 times what I'd be making.
Well, I told him, I'm like, dude, that's like incentive to not to not do anything if you don't have to.
Yeah.
So I and then 10,000 is 52. So assuming that you did start it at the beginning of the month, would any of those be manageable, or which of those would be best for you?
Well, the most manageable would be the 10,000. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I can it always be raised?
Yeah.
Later on, I assume.
Yeah, it can. It can. So what we can do, this is an option that like most of my clients are on fixed incomes, right? For disability or Social Security, retirement. I think everyone's on a fixed income in a way, right? But for most people,
pretty much.
But you know what I mean by the fixed income, fixed government income, or disability, or some sort of plan. So what we have set up is we have the ability to apply and make sure that the approval comes back okay, which I'm pretty sure it will, and then post date first payment for up to 35 days to give that time to arrange. So if the beginning of the month works best, then we can apply and have everything set up for the beginning of the month. And then if anything came up and you needed to push it out another little bit, then that's totally okay too. They have a policy redate option. But I'd say that's the best move for us, Patrick. And then once we get to 10,000, you can always increase it from there if you decide that you want to move up in the future. Obviously, if something catastrophic happened to your health, then it would maybe some different options. But you can add coverage. Sound fair enough?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, great. So what's your middle initial?
Okay, so after he said, yes, I'll go with that coverage amount, I just assumed the sale. I went in, I started the application. With the carrier that we write, we don't have to do a telephone interview because we do so much business with them. We get like special privileges. So we actually run the prescription history report on our end as field underwriters, and we look and see he got approved for the program. it cut out early, but he told me, he was like, hey, the reason why I worked with you is because I felt like you established a good connection with me. I get these calls all the time. No one's ever spoken with me and talked to me like you did. And I appreciate that. I feel like I met a friend tonight. We exchanged some things about YouTube, some other cool talk. And yeah, so I was very, very fortunate to be able to help this gentleman get a program in place for his family, and it was really cool. He's an awesome client. I love building relationships like that. He's an awesome guy. I mean, overall, just a cool dude. So once someone agrees to the coverage, assume the sale, just start the application, just start going through it, help them figure out what works for their budget. Our average client makes between $1,000 to $2,000 a month probably in Social Security. That's like average for a final expense client. So you want to make sure you're getting something that works for them. It doesn't make sense to try to push someone into a policy that's too big for them to afford. You can always sell them a smaller one and then add coverage later, okay? I hope you guys learned a lot from this. I hope this was able to help you, and I hope you're able to help more people with this. And I hope you're able to I hope this helps you help more people protect their families and helps you in your success in the industry.